Good afternoon. My name is Alienora Browning, for those who don't already know, and I am a writer. I've written 11 books, all published, and I'm going to be reading two sections from one of them this afternoon. That book is a Cretan diary journey through the senses, and it covers 4 separate holidays on the beautiful island of Crete, and very much encompasses both emotional responses, but also the responses of somebody who is a writer and who loves nature and gets very excited by the look of things, the smell of things, all the senses, in other words. So part 3, this bit was written in 2014, the summer of 2014, and I'm going to read a couple of short sections from that. I'll show you some photos first, as I know photos go down well. So that's some Cretan photos. Driving along the national road at 1 a.m, windows down, and that distinctive smell of warm, wild herbs. We passed great bushes of white and pink oleander. Behind them, on the right, the arid rocks and harsh vegetation of the mountainous areas. To our left, unseen but imagined, Poodle Rock, where we swim and snorkel and walk through the burnished line of sunset gold into the warmth of sea as hills deepen into crimson and lilac. Home to a newly created front garden, full of night-scented stock and honeysuckle, colours of beans and butterflies and iridescent turquoise carpenter bees, now hidden in the balmy early morning air, the moon full and bright. Fabulous to be back. Seated at a table at 3-4 a.m, we all drank wine and ate fresh cherries and talked until the adolescent duo were nodding with weariness in their shared homemade turquoise seat. And now, dozy with raspberry raki and wine so red it shone, and all the old favourites on the food front, we have returned from our first visit to Vasilis Taverna in Kastelos. Cicadas rub and roister, many birds sing, butterflies, huge ones, flitter in a stately dance through the tall bean plants. A furry flurry of odd-shaped dogs under the table, the big white one leaping up the wall in ecstasy whenever she spotted the cat. Cockerels and goats sharing scrubland, pecking and munching in the mid-afternoon heat. Ah, the wonderful Cretan stories already. V's dog, who worries sheep and once had a goat by the throat, which sounds like something out of a Dr. Seuss book. An acquaintance, Elle, whose teenage son sneaked into the family car, letting the handbrake off. And Elle, busy in the fields, watching in horror as the car, with the youth at the wheel, careered backwards down the family's drive, crossed the fortunately empty road, and reversed into the wall opposite. No injury other than to the car. Through the midday heat haze and the drowsing hum of vibrant flowers alight with nectar-seeking creatures, I catch a feline drama upon the high stone balcony opposite, the home of Eleanor, elderly and stooped, a white-haired spinster in this land of fecundity, met in the darkness of a steep path late last night, her deep voice cackling out syllables of irascible Greek, smoothed by the sweetness of wild jasmine. And her many cats, 6 last night, late sunning themselves in the dying rays of a magnificent sunset. Now, at the point of noon, a shaggy brown moggy copulating with the sultry little queen, both balanced on the thin lip of the outer wall, and watched, dare I say it, by a big caramel-coloured tom, and the weaving beauty of huge scarlet geraniums, Instant changeover as one Tom gives way to the next. The white, almond-eyed female, not long out of kittenhood, rampant, passive beneath the bucking tufts of rampancy, yowls this time, deep and guttural, interrupted by the woman's voice calling, "Marina, Hera!" and me in deck chair, sunning pale limbs, uncertain whether 'twas the cats she called or the goddesses of the Olympian line. Right, and now we have Rethymno at night. Giant sun, a tracing of thinnest gold through the mid-evening sky, a wedding band from day to night, hand fasting of the 24 hours. Down into Rethymno, along the seafront, huge concrete jacks ready to tumble into the harbour's checkerboard. Young people, 2 to a motorbike, shirt sleeves, no helmets, happy, relaxed. The air scented strongly at times with thyme, Crete's olfactory signature tune. Neon eyes, winking purple, blue, green, red, gold. My body stiff with overheated irritation, temperature 28 degrees at 9 p.m. Striding ahead in long, green-patterned Indian dress, caught between youth and middle age, I wanted to run and cry and scream and laugh and have fun, be spontaneous. Oh, the weight of adulthood upon my reluctant bones and wild spirit. Lowest tide. Dinosaur bones of rock straddling the sea's bed. The fortezza arrow-slitting us back into the invasions we all inherit and ignore at our peril. Modern-day pirate ship Jack Sparrowing its way across the bay, tilting its cutlass at the Cretan sun. And so to Goran's taverna, and a table for 6, right at the cool end, adjacent to the alley full of undulating, yowling cats. Food shared, while the beggars came a-calling with their tacky wares and stegosaurus hides. A tall young woman, with her sack full of glitter-strewn Disney monstrosities, and her little sister, garish in green and ghastly upon the accordion, both ignored. Serbian delicacies, alvar, the delectable red pepper dip, the richness of tiny keftes, meatballs, octopus, jazzed-up potatoes, organic red wine. Then suddenly a rough diamond in the great jeweller's shop of artifice. There he was, a tiny boy, 7 or so, dark of complexion and hair, trying to coax "Never on a Sunday" out of the recalcitrant crimson and white keys of the accordion he had slung around his neck. But his voice, when he sang, was deep and true, mesmerizing in this irritating wee scrap of humanity, who, waif-like, insinuated himself closer and closer to the people at each table, singing little snatches of song and crying quite blatantly, "Money! Money!" Goran, using his arms as a gentle broom, tried to brush the little urchin away, but he would not go. Our laughter revitalized him, and he mugged for the invisible camera until he was shooed inside and told to find the kitchen and the warm goodies therein. Off he went, then, down Cat Alley, still singing, still cheeky and insouciant, and somehow brave and rather sweet. Such spirit and determination, such boldness, I couldn't help warming to him. We wandered back, seeing a young lady, pliant as a pipe cleaner, clad in harem pants and a scanty top, juggling 2 chalk torches. We stopped for ice cream, and oh, the succulent softness of the colours on offer, of the flavours on offer, left me entranced. I wanted all of them, the smooth mauve, the tempting toffee, the laid-back coffee, rich and deep chocolate. In the end, chocolate won. Cone clutched in left hand, I licked and luxuriated, and in the 25-degree heat of midnight, allowed great splashes of melt to bleed into hands and chin and dress, until, back on the promenade, I wandered, gazing at the darkness of sea and the lights of all the tavernas, and shops still open. We found the jeeps and windows wide open, drove back home, a cooling breeze lifting the orange strands of hair off my hot face and damp neck. That, my dears, is the essence of Rethymno Old Town at night. Thank you. Goodbye.